Have you ever heard a story so strange, so chilling, that it crawls under your skin and stays there? Today, we're journeying deep into the Ural Mountains of Russia, back to the freezing winter of 1959, to uncover one of history's most baffling and terrifying unsolved mysteries. The Dyatlov Pass Incident. Picture this. A group of 9 young, experienced hikers, led by Igor Dyatlov, set out on a challenging expedition. These weren't amateurs. They were skilled mountaineers, full of life and adventure. They were supposed to send a telegram upon their return. But days turned into weeks, and silence was the only reply. When the search party finally reached their last known campsite on the slopes of Kolatsak, a mountain whose name ominously translates to Dead Mountain, what they found was beyond comprehension. The group's tent was sliced open. From the inside, it seemed they had fled in a panic, leaving behind their warm clothes, shoes, and all their supplies, running barefoot into the brutal, sub-zero wilderness. The first 2 bodies were found by a cedar tree, nearly a mile from the camp, dressed only in their underwear. They had tried to start a fire. 3 more bodies were found between the tree and the tent, seemingly trying to crawl back to safety. The scene was tragic, but it was the discovery of the final 4 hikers, months later, that turned this mystery into the stuff of nightmares. Buried under more than 10 feet of snow in a ravine, these 4 had suffered horrific internal injuries. One woman was missing her tongue and eyes. Another hiker had a fractured skull. Another had crushed ribs.
How are you feeling today?
The strangest part, there were no external signs of a struggle. No bruises or soft tissue damage that would normally accompany such devastating trauma. A medical examiner compared the force required to cause these injuries to that of a high-speed car crash. As investigators dug deeper, the story only got weirder. Some of the hikers' clothing was found to be radioactive. Witnesses in a nearby area reported seeing strange orange spheres floating in the sky on the night the hikers likely died. What could have terrified 9 seasoned mountaineers so much that they would tear their way out of their only shelter and run into a frozen wasteland? The official investigation at the time concluded that the hikers died from a compelling natural force. An avalanche was the primary theory. But an avalanche doesn't explain the internal injuries without external signs. The missing tongue, or the radiation, and why would they cut their way out of the tent instead of unzipping it? The location also wasn't a typical avalanche zone. Over the years, theories have swirled. Was it a secret Soviet weapons test gone wrong? The radiation and mysterious spheres in the sky certainly point in that direction. Could they have stumbled upon a military secret they weren't meant to see, and were then silenced? Others suggest something more. Paranormal. The local Mansi people have legends about the area being a gateway for spirits. Could the hikers have encountered something not of this world? This theory might sound wild, but when you look at the bizarre evidence, it's hard to dismiss anything completely. Then there is the theory of infrasound, a low-frequency sound that can be generated by certain wind patterns and can cause intense, unexplainable panic and nausea. Could a freak weather event have created a sound that literally drove them mad with terror? Decades later, in 2019, Russian authorities reopened the case. Their updated conclusion, an avalanche. They argued that a slab avalanche could have covered part of the tent, causing the initial panic and a few injuries, forcing them to cut their way out. The subsequent hypothermia and a fall into the ravine could explain the rest. Yet, this explanation still feels incomplete to many. It doesn't fully account for the internal trauma, the missing soft tissue, or the radiation. The Dyatlov Pass Incident remains a haunting puzzle. We have photos from the hikers' own cameras, showing them happy and smiling just hours before their demise. Then, a final, blurry, and terrifying image that seems to capture something in the darkness. We have the facts, the bodies, and the bizarre evidence, but no definitive answer. Was it nature, the military, or something else entirely? The truth, it seems, was buried in the snow with those 9 unfortunate souls. What do you think really happened on Dead Mountain? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the unknown. If you enjoy exploring history's greatest mysteries, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Stay curious and stay safe out there.